he said, Timmy, during the game, your yards per rush were 3.16. Your yards per completion were 31.6. The ratings for the night were 31.6.
I wonder how many people were on the fence and then saw that happen.
Timmy, you thought tonight was about a game. And during the night, over 90 million people have Googled John 3:16. It's the #1 trending thing.
Pretty amazing.
I really feel like there was so much of me that was just selfish in that moment. And not all in the worst way, but some of it of just, man, I wanted to prove the doubters wrong. I wanted to show them we could do this. I wanted to make a statement. I wanted to win for my team and the fans, my family, and all of this. And again, that's all wrong, but there was a piece of it that was just selfish for me. And I had no idea it was 3 years later from the day. And we play this game and we win in overtime. I still think it's the fastest overtime in NFL history. And we win. It's a real moment. And it's just like, it's unbelievable. And the crowd stays for well over an hour after the game, going crazy and going to the locker room. And I changed and I got to go talk to the media and I don't really want to. And right before I walk in this big room packed full of media, there's all these curtains out front and I'm standing in front and Patrick, our PR guy, there steps in front of me, said, Timmy, do you realize what happened? And I'm like, yeah, we just beat the Steelers. We're going to play the Patriots. He's like, yeah, I know what happened, dude. Like, why'd you ask me such a silly question? And he goes, no, do you know what happened? And I'm like, I thought I did. Patrick, what happened? Because you could just see this different demeanor. And he said, Timmy, no, you don't know what happened. Timmy, it's exactly 3 years from the night that you wore John 3:16 under your eyes. And I'm like, oh, wow, that's awesome. That's so cool. And he said, no, you don't realize it. Timmy, during the game, you threw for 316 yards. And I'm like, what? And he said, Timmy, during the game, your yards per rush were 3.16. Your yards per completion were 31.6. The ratings for the night were 31.6. And the time of possession was 31.6. And during the night, over 90 million people have Googled John 3:16. It's the #1 trending thing all over. And I think he even mentioned something about there were so many people tweeting about it that like Twitter even froze or something like that. At least that was what I was told. And I was standing in that hallway. And I don't think I had the reaction that a lot of people think I did. Because I went from a high and a celebration and a joy to a conviction and a disappointment.
Why?
Because when he was telling me that, I knew that God was convicting me, saying, Timmy, you thought tonight was about a game. You thought it was about all of these things. It's never just about a game. I didn't die for a game. And I was so convicted, still grateful that God would use something, but convicted, man, my eyes were on the wrong thing. My heart was in the wrong place. I knew you. I knew what you'd done, but my heart was here and my eyes were here. I knew the truth. I just wasn't focused on it. I was having all of these selfish ambitions and goals. And it was also this reminder, but I can even use it when your heart's not right. I can even use you. I can use something that you did 3 years ago and started 3.5 years ago, and you didn't even know that I was doing something. Because I honestly thought after 3 years, when the first time I just thought, man, well, that's cool. But you also think, that's cool, God, but it's done. And he's like, no, you have no idea what I'm doing. You have no idea. And I was just so convicted. I didn't even want to walk into the media. Not that I really wanted to anyways, and then I go in there and I'm answering questions and so many of them, they want to ask me about it because it's buzzing. You can hear them even talking, but some of them kind of ask me to the side. They're like, oh, all of these, numbers adding to 316, 316, 316. And a few of them to the side, they're like, oh, that's a big coincidence. Like, they don't even want to ask in the microphone, And they're like, wow, what a big coincidence. Something like that to me. And
Coincidence?
Yeah. And I said,
that's what they call it?
A few of them on like the side, because they don't even ask it. And I said, well, we could believe it's a really big coincidence, or we could believe that we serve a really big God. And just one of those moments for me, and I think God used it and for a lot of people, but I also think he was trying to teach me something too. And that one, we have no idea what he's doing, But even when we know the truth, how easy our eyes and our heart can leave it. And it was very humbling for me. And even going back and celebrating with my family and friends, and we had so many that were in town, it was a celebration with also a conviction, if that makes sense at the same time. And God's done so much of that. Even when I've told the story a few times on some different shows, it's, gone viral on that. And people, one of the first things that people mention when I'm in South Africa with my wife, John 3:16. And, it's just so humbling that I could just be a part of it. But there's a piece of me that feels unequipped and like unworthy that God would do some of that with it. And I would say that the more I've been able to process that, the more I could say, man, I'm so grateful and celebrate it. But I never want to get to that place again where I think, God, you did something, but you're done. Because we have no idea what he's doing and how he's using it. And I don't want to put God in a box. And I feel like so many times I've had, and we have no idea what he's doing. And do you know all the things that had to happen at the end of that game for all of that to change? I mean, the fastest overtime in NFL history, one play, 80 yards in the exact amount of time. And if one of those things go off, all of them go off. And yet, just, it's what our God does, just more than we could ask, think, or imagine. And definitely because we don't deserve it.
I wonder how many people were on the fence and then saw that happen and realized it was real, that he is real. A lot of people.
Hope so.
Pretty amazing.
And tell something else that's cool about the 316 is several years ago, Camille goes, we're sitting in our office when she joined the team, and I said, Camille, what breaks your heart the most? And she said, she wrote down the number 20,000. And I said, 20,000, what does that mean? And she said,
no matter where you're watching Shawn Ryan Show from, if you get anything out of this, please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share this everywhere you possibly can. And if you're feeling extra generous, please leave us a review on Apple and Spotify podcasts.